Edible Water channel, thank you for tuning in. So this video is titled Culture Shock When Dating Women in Asia. And first and foremost, I would like to say, me personally, I think Asian women, they know how to adapt way better to American culture than Americans adapting to Asian culture. Okay, let me say that again if that was too loud, if the bus was too loud. I think Asian women adapt to American culture way better than how American men adapt to Asian culture, okay? So what does that mean? A lot of times when women, when people from Asia, when they go to America, they have a difficult time adjusting to the culture of America. I mean, they're pretty familiar with it for the most part because they may watch it on TV, but still, it's nothing like living there. And everybody has a difficult time at first adjusting to how things are in another country. But I think when it comes to dating, Asian women, they adapt way better when they move to America and they start dating somebody that's Asian. Let y'all get a view. Because, of course, a lot of women, they want to hold on to certain traditions that they're used to back in Asia. All right, but, when you're dating with a foreigner, that's not going to work, and a lot of things aren't really catered to somebody that's from China or from Japan or from Thailand living in America. It's for America. All right, like, in Asia, things are kind of catered towards foreigners. You see what I'm saying? Like, things are in English. When you're on the train, things are in the language of that country, and then there's also an English translation. They have English schools. They pay pretty good salary towards native English speakers from America. More Americans that come over and start teaching English, they have disposable income, more disposable income than the average citizen of that country. You see what I'm saying? So it's easier for an American to just be themselves in Asia and not have to, not assimilate, but conform to their way of doing things. It's like, why should I? You're paying me more to be who I am. You see what I'm saying? There's no incentive for me to really conform unless it's on my own terms. Like if I really want to learn the language and stuff like that. You see what I'm saying? Like Asians that go to America, it's not like that. Nobody is, unless you're teaching that language at a university, but for the most part, your bills, there's not an option to get it in Chinese or Japanese in America. You see what I'm saying? Like, nobody's gonna pay you more than the average salary that an American citizen is getting to teach Chinese or Japanese or Thai in America. So you see what I'm saying? So the women, they know, like, okay, I really have to adjust to this culture. I've been learning English since I was a kid. I can polish up my English more by being in America, learning about the jokes, learning about different, different slang, different idioms, different metaphors. I can learn about how they do things out here, learn about the culture, stuff like that in America. So when they date somebody, it's like they take a bit of that with them. Even if they go back to their home country, they'll take a bit of that culture back with them and to their own country. And then it's easier for them to adjust and date a foreigner. You see what I'm saying? Especially if they were a student in America and then they go back to the home country to live. So when they date a foreigner in their home country, it's like, oh, my English is better. I know what you mean. All the Chuck Norris jokes and the inside jokes, stuff like that. So it's easier to communicate. you know, okay, these are how Americans do things, so I'm gonna adjust to them as well as have them adjust to my culture, and I understand where they're coming from. You see, I know how they think. Whereas somebody who's never left their home country, they're not thinking about how things are done in America. You know, they might be like, okay, I could compromise just a little bit, but, you know, I don't know where you're coming from, you know, trying to, you know, sit down and talk with me about certain things I'm doing that you may not like, or talking things out. Or I might not understand where you're coming from when you're talking about, you know, how come you were out all night and you didn't come back yesterday? You know, over there, especially in Japan, it's looked at as, you know, jealousy, and that's a major turnoff over there. All right, I have a friend, he kind of didn't really like some of the things what his woman, like his girlfriend, was doing, right? And he would try to talk things out to her, but every time he tried to talk things out with her, she looked at him as weak. So he was like, all right, fine, you know. So what did he do? He just started stepping out on her. He's like, what's the point on talking? But that's just how the culture is in Japan. And a lot of men, man, from America, they can't really adjust to the culture shock that's in Asia. You know, they understand, they see things for what it is, but, you know, a lot of guys that come out here, they end up being miserable. You know, they come out here, they don't really understand the women. They don't understand how women meet with how they meet with guys and how they get into relationships. You see what I'm saying? Like, a lot of it is through a friend, like through a friend, or, you know, like a recommendation almost, a cosign. Hey, so-and-so, this is my friend from America here. He's a good guy. Okay, since her friend introduced her to you, to each other, and they said, no, this is a good person right here, then they're probably more open to dating you as a foreigner. But some foreigners, like, they can't grasp their mind around that, and they have a tough time adjusting, right? And then a lot of, you know, they complain, they become miserable, they don't want to talk to anybody. There's a lot of guys, they'll talk to you in a group chat online messenger all the time. As soon as they get to Japan, they delete themselves from the room. They don't want to talk to you no more. They think, oh, I'm in Japan now, I just go get me a girlfriend. Then they have a tough time adjusting. And then they're in Japan for like a year, 2 years, and they're miserable. Not just Japan, but other countries as well. So because some Americans, they're too stubborn to want to adjust to that culture. Like I said, it's like, what's the point? You know, you're paying me to speak English. You're paying me to teach English. Everything's in English out here. Translations is everywhere, on the train, in the malls. You know, I'm greeted by people who speak English. So it's like, why do I need to conform to the way you guys do things? You see what I'm saying? So it doesn't help a lot of foreigners out when things are laid out that way for them. All right, and they have a tough time adjusting and dating. So me personally, I think Asian women, they adjust way better. They know how to adapt with American culture way better in America than Americans adapting in Asia with Asian culture. All right, so if you like this video, subscribe, comment, leave a message below, share the video. I'm over and I'm out. Peace.